Alice!
Alice, thank goodness you're finally here.
It's that girl again!
Alice, you're back.
In the days since I tripped through the looking glass with Alice, I've described it in a number of ways. It's a psychedelic explosion of colour, a sugar high the size of Everest, a ridiculous over-the-top riot of curiouser and curiouser moments tied together with a storyline that, let's be honest, doesn't really owe very much at all to Lewis Carroll's book. A lot of the things are the same in this second Alice outing. The same ensemble cast has been regathered, including the late Alan Rickman as Absalom, the guiding light of the caterpillar turned butterfly. Mia Wasikowska is a more mature Alice, a ship's captain who is spurning romantic advances in favour of fighting pirates on the seven seas. She returns to Underland and discovers her truest friend, Johnny Depp's madder-than-mad Hatter, is dying, not of madness or lead poisoning, but of sadness. He's become convinced that his family were not killed by the ridiculously bobble-headed Red Queen and her Jabberwocky, but are in fact alive, and that they've cast him out for being an embarrassment. Given Alice's timely return, it is up to her to find out what happened to Hatter's family, and if they are indeed alive, reunite them with their wayward son. To do this, it's a simple matter of manipulating the tides of the ocean of time. The only risk involved is perhaps breaking all of Underland in the process.
She will come back home to Wonderland and turn back the hands of time.
Time is a he. He is not someone you want as your enemy. Please, sir. The Hatter is in danger.
Young lady, your time is up.
The one person who notably did not return to this film in the same role is Tim Burton, whose signature gothic style brought life to the first movie. He's still on board as producer, but this time James Bobbin from Muppets Most Wanted has stepped up to the director's chair. This change, plus the fact that Burton's Alice drank so deeply from the well of Lewis Carroll's book, featuring elements from both Alice in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass, makes Alice Through the Looking Glass a very different movie, and not one that's going to win the more traditional fans. Making up for the lack of literary inspiration, Bobbin's film goes heavy on the glitter. Sacha Baron Cohen shines as Time himself, an unexpected love interest for Helena Bonham Carter's deliciously distorted Red Queen. In a world of fairly two-dimensional characters, including, unfortunately, the Mad Hatter himself, this part-person, part-clock Time is complicated and complicating as he struggles to keep Alice's adventures from causing too much havoc. That said, the two-dimensional characters are the ones in the foreground to the point where Alice herself becomes a bit of a passenger underneath it all, which is a pity because her coming-of-age storyline is quite powerful and, dare I say it, has some serious feminist overtones. 3 years after the original film, Alice must face the sort of life-changing decision that confronts us all at a certain age as she wrestles with the pressures of being grown up. Don't get me wrong though, Alice Through the Looking Glass is a lot of fun. It was filmed in 3D and it's the kind of film that really benefits from the treatment. Whether it's the sweeping seascapes of the oceans of time or the mechanical elements of ticking in Time's tower, the three-dimensional effects really do add an extra depth to the adventure, and it's great to see that finally we've moved on from the era where 3D movies mean cliched pop-outs and jump scares. Sure, this one's not as well executed as Burton's adaptation, but those were some big shoes to fill. And speaking of shoes, there is a lot going on in Underland, not the least of which is the costumes. I can't wait to see cosplayers getting their hands on some of these outfits. The details are outstanding, whether it's Alice's relatively simple ship's captain jacket or her over-the-top Chinese-inspired number. The Mad Hatter offers a couple of looks, even his faded, dying self is inspiring, and of course, Helena Bonham Carter is Helena Bonham Carter.
Hello, Alice.
Perhaps we shouldn't be considering Alice Through the Looking Glass to be an acid trip. Perhaps it's one of the sugary delights from the Mad Hatter's tea party. Nobody eats fairy floss for the nutritional value. They eat it because it's fun and it's different and it's a little bit of melt-in-your-mouth escapism. That's kind of what this film is like. It won't stand up as a great piece of cinema, but there are some genuinely wonderful moments tucked away under all the fluff and frosting.
I present you with a gift.
And that's about it for this edition of Player Attack. Thanks for watching. Next week, we head back to the cinema to watch the Warcraft movie and spend a bit of time with some mobile games as we get ready for our trip to E3. In the meantime, you can catch us at playerattack.com. We're on Facebook, YouTube and Twitter. And if you've got something you want to say, send us an email, mailbox@playerattack.com, or just hop on our forums. Also, if you want to support Player Attack, you can find us on Patreon. Every little bit helps us bring you the latest in gaming news, plus all of these wonderful interviews and reviews from the world of video games. Till next week, I'm Jessica Citizen, and this is Player Attack.